Welcome to 3 Minutes with Jay Bala, our portfolio manager at AIP Asset Management in Toronto. China announcement of putting tariffs on 128 U.S. goods. Now, is this a starting point, do you think?
Well, if you look at it, China's response has actually been quite rational. The U.S. put something close to tariffs on $60 billion worth of Chinese goods. And in return, the Chinese have put it on 128 goods, but it's only $3 billion in actual export revenue. So the Chinese have actually just been sort of saying, hey, listen, we're taking this seriously. Here's sort of a marginal bump, but it isn't a massive retaliation, although the market seems to be taking it a lot worse than that. Now it all really depends on how the US and Donald Trump sort of react to this. Right. But in terms of actual dollar amounts, it's $3 billion in trading volume. They import $115 billion in US goods. So it's not a massive hit. But keep in mind, if this continues to escalate and nobody wants to back down, then it could obviously become a serious concern, right?
Right, so it's kind of like a starting point. Now, a little bit before we got into this call, we were talking about the volatility of the market. It seems like we're up 500 points, down 500 points. Do you think that because we've had such a great run on the markets that people are looking for any opportunity to sell?
In some ways, yes. And the answer to it is that, like I sort of talked about before, 2017 was tax cuts. No matter what happened, everybody looked forward and said, I'm getting this gigantic tax cut for the stock that I own, or this company that I own, so I'm going to look past a lot of things. 2018 came along and the tax cuts have already been passed. So now what's your new catalyst? The answer is you don't have one, right? You've only got kind of scary things going forward, right? You've got rising interest rates, you've got inflation that's coming in. Now it's just you don't have that big juicy carrot in front of you that says, no matter what happens, I'm okay. Now it's, oh my God, what am I going to do, right?
Right. It's almost like, there was a period of time before this where nobody wanted to look under the hood.
Right? Nobody cared, right? Because if you bought something, it went up.
We're going to the moon. Let's keep going.
Exactly.
And now we've kind of stalled out from getting to the moon. So Why don't we look under the hood and see what's going on?
Yeah, look, it's sort of like the housing market, both in Toronto and Vancouver. There was a point in time in the last year or two, you just had to buy anything, right? You didn't bother doing the safety inspection or checking if there was termites living in the. As long as you just bought the house and it was any house, right? Even a dump that you wouldn't live in, that thing would go up like $100,000 and you'd be a champion.
Right. It's all intertwined.
Exactly.
All right, my friend. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.